after 96 years, First Bank is still not the first. It's not about being the first person to start a particular niche. So in my previous videos, I've consistently emphasized is that you need to be first in your niche to dominate in that niche. And the second video I shared with you that if you are not the first in your niche, you can carve out a new niche for yourself where you can be first, or a new category for yourself where you can be first. But even with that, you can still fail, because if you ask a millennial in Nigeria specifically what bank they use most, many of them would point to GT Bank, because GT Bank was the first bank that presented itself as the modern brand. Many of them should have said First Bank, because First Bank was the first bank of Nigeria. You see that? But after 96 years, First Bank is still not the first, because GT Bank was the first modern bank. But then GT Bank did not just win because of that. I'm going to share with you how GT Bank won and how you can apply that to your business. And before we get into this video, my name is David Igbason and I am the CEO of Rally Agency. I'm currently on a 365 days content challenge in marketing and sales to help a lot of businesses build global brands. And all I need from you is to subscribe to this channel and comment in the comment section saying, today I'm one step closer to building a global brand. Have you done that? Let's get into the video. According to Business Day Nigeria, GT Bank holds the largest market share in the list of banks. And on that list, we have First Bank as number 5. The point here is, if First Bank came to Nigeria first, it's meant to be the number 1 bank in Nigeria. But it is not. Why? Because GT Bank came and won the minds of the people. GT Bank blasted its way into the minds of the people. And that is why it's not about being the first person to start a particular niche. It's not about being the first person. So First Bank is still there, bigger, it's still respected. It's still a respected brand. But GT Bank owns the minds of the young people, especially the millennials. For Gen Z, we are more used to Kuda. Many business owners believe that if I get to launch my business first, before every other person does, I'm going to win in the market. But from the example of First Bank and GT Bank, you already know that that is not necessarily the full picture. Because what's the point of getting to a party first, and at the end of the party, nobody remembers your name? If you go to a party and nobody remembers your name, why did you go there? Especially an introvert. All right. So the point of this is that you need to create a system where you are blasting yourself into the minds of the people consistently. And I'm going to share with you 3 things you should do right now that would help you own a market space. Not just be the first, but to own it. Are you ready? Let's get into it. But before we get into that, there are 2 things I would want to point out. Number 1 is that you must know that the only battlefield in marketing is a battlefield of the mind. It's a game of perception. And this has already been proven with the example of First Bank and GT Bank. First Bank established itself as the traditional Nigerian bank, but when GT Bank came, they blasted themselves into the minds of people as the modern brand. No matter the amount of advertising that First Bank will try to do, they can never re-establish themselves as the brand that is for the modern man. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it is really about perception. Once the perception is set in the minds of the people, there's nothing you can do to change it. Another example is MTN, Airtel, Glo. MTN and Airtel were already ruling in Nigeria, then Glo came along. can see even till today, Glo is still struggling to get anything from the market share because they have blasted themselves as the third brand or the third alternative brand to all of these three. The only way Glo can actually win in this race is to create a new category. I don't know how they're going to do it, but to create a new category and solve a niched down problem and own that category forever. That is the only way they can win. Any other way is a waste of time because they are perceived in the minds of Nigerians as the third alternative brand to telecommunications. Do you understand this? Second point I need you to take note of is that you don't slowly worm your way into the minds of your prospects. What you need to do is to blast your way into their minds. You'd hold on to a position and blast your way into their minds. I'm going to share among my 3 tips. I'm going to share with you how you can do that. See, when GTBank came into the market, they didn't try to say, oh, we are trying to grow into the modern brand. They came and they shouted, we are the modern bank. We are the bank of the future. That was their war cry. And they said, we are not bothered about any other person except the younger people. You can bear me witness that even other people are using the same bank. You see that? So you would have to choose a position and consistently trumpet it into the minds of your prospects and say, this is who we are, this is what we want to do, this is who we are doing it for. Do you see that? Here are 3 things that you should do right now to begin to blast your way into the minds of your people. Number 1 is that you'd have to choose a position and stay with it. Just one, not 3 things, not you're trying to be here, here, and here. You choose one focus, one product, one target audience. You choose that one and own it. How you can do this is to write down a word you want your brand or your company to be remembered for. Just one word. For instance, Riley Agency, the marketing agency for FMCG brands. It's as simple as that. Write down one word you want to be known for. Number 2 is that you need to simplify everything. Don't try to overcomplicate things. Don't try to sound overly smart. Don't try to be too intelligent. Don't try to be too techy. Just own one word and simplify the word such that even a baby can remember. I'm going to share an example. As at the time when Apple was launching into the market space, there were other competitors, but the only reason why Apple won was that Apple had the simplest name that every other person could remember. There were brands, some had XT, something. Very long names. But guess what? Apple was just Apple. Easy to remember, easy to. No other brand stood first. Every other brand crumbled because they were too difficult to remember. So if you're trying to choose a name, you'd have to choose a name that is easy to remember by every other person. Do you understand this? I remember an example that Pastor Emmanuel Irene shared. He said when they started their church, they had a very difficult name that no other person, it was very, very difficult for the children in the church to pronounce. And he said, we are building a global church. We don't want to have a name that is difficult to pronounce. Now they have what we call Celebration Church. Very easy to remember, very easy to pronounce, very attachable to the mind. You see that? Simplify it. Don't use difficult names. Don't use difficult names. Don't say things like Yalagbo Argentina shop by. Stop. All right? Promise me you stop. Stop it. Number three is that you'd have to pick a platform and show up on that platform consistently for the next 30 to 90 days. Don't change it. Just show up there every single day, saying the same thing, doing the same thing for the next 90 days. And trust me, by day 90, you'll have positioned yourself in the minds of people as a particular person. Now that we know that the mind is the real battlefield in the marketplace, not the platform, but the mind, I would want to share with you what exactly people are doing when they're making decisions in their minds and how you can also control that in my next video. My name is David Igdason and I'm going to see you in the next one. Lastly, before I go, I want you to affirm with me. Today, I'm one step closer to building a global brand. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.